So can you all see my presentation in full screen? Okay. So first of all, good morning, everyone. I would like to thank this initiative and Foodscale Hub for the opportunity to share our open calls here. My name is Miguel Pacheco from Unparalleled Innovation, and I will be talking a little bit about the Chameleon the second open call of the CHAMELEON Project. So, sorry. First of all, a brief description of what the CHAMELEON Project is. The main objective is to build a novel, reconfigurable, and multi-purpose ecosystem for agriculture, forestry, and livestock. So CHAMELEON offers to develop and validate technological tools that address specific problems through three main pilots across Europe, which are Spain, Greece, and Austria. These pilots are mainly focused on drone or UAV related solutions and applications. So the project can be divided in three domains: agriculture, which revolves around CO2 sequestration and biomass estimation, and also irrigation and water stress monitoring and management. Also livestock, which revolves around behavioral analysis and protection of livestock. Also, the early and non-intrusive lameness detection. The third domain is forestry, which revolves around plant health assessment and selective spraying applications for low-risk fertilization and forest health protection. The main expected impacts are economic, revolving around the reduction of costs, scientific, revolving around innovation in the agriculture practices, as well as environmental, which revolving around the environment protection. So for this purpose, CHAMELEON has now launched the second open call, for which I will first display the official promotional video. Please tell me if you're not hearing the audio.
CHAMELEON Project is launching the second open call for submissions between March 31st and June 30th. The objective is to implement geographically distributed small-scale pilots that demonstrate the impact and potential of the CHAMELEON approach in the three fields of forestry, agriculture, and livestock. Participants in the second open call should present a detailed use case pilot scenario with a primary focus on validating specific bundles developed within the CHAMELEON project. Applicants will be responsible for defining the area where the bundle will be validated, as well as acquiring the necessary data for the bundle using their own infrastructure and equipment. Once all this data is collected, applicants will use the CHAMELEON platform to upload the data for processing to evaluate the bundle through the results. Either you are a potential applicant with capacities for data acquisition, or you are an expert in project evaluation in the fields of forestry, agriculture, and livestock. Both your inputs are required. The application's budget will be a total of €300,000 to be distributed among successful applications, with a maximum budget of €60,000 each, lump sum scheme. Each evaluator will be rewarded in line with the European Commission's expert financing system, €450 per workday, maximum 2.5 working days. The sub-project duration will be 6 months from October 2024 to March 2025. The evaluation timeline duration will be 2 months,
from July to August 2024.
These are the eligibility criteria. Please be sure to read them carefully. This open call welcomes participation from EU member states and countries associated with the Horizon Europe programme. Please note that only documents written in English will be considered during the evaluation process. Each applicant has the opportunity to submit up to 2 proposals. However, only 1 proposal per applicant will be selected for funding. For more information, you can visit our website, and if you have any questions, here are our contact options.
Okay, so moving on. So as you could see from the video, CHAMELEON Project is now looking for third parties to propose and develop a detailed use case pilot scenario in which the primary focus will be on validating specific bundles developed within the project. These bundles are the software tools that are being developed which provided with specific data from the agriculture, forestry, or livestock region of interest will provide an analysis or indicators that will help solve specific problems. We also will provide the list of available bundles to be validated in these open calls in the official documentation. These open calls will be open until the 30th of June 2024. Applications should be managed only via CHAMELEON website, and the applicants must submit their proposal as well as filling in the available application form. Sub-projects will be financed up to 60,000 euros in a lump sum scheme, which means that each payment tranche will be done after the submission and acceptance of each of the 3 deliverables planned. The documentation available for this purpose is the guide for applicants, which explains and details all the important information for a successful application, as well as the proposal template, which should be followed when writing your proposal. This is a preview of the available bundles, which are all described in detail in the guide for applicants. As for the evaluators, the CHAMELEON Project is looking for experts on the topics of the project, which are drone applications in agriculture, forestry, and livestock, and also with proven experience in evaluating EU projects or open calls, and they will be invited to evaluate up to 4 proposals. These also will be open for submission until the 30th of June 2024, and also applications should be done via the CHAMELEON website. Interested experts must submit their CV and also fill in the application form. The evaluators will be rewarded in line with the EU expert payment system, and the documentation available is a guide for experts in which more details about both the evaluation task and how to submit an application are detailed. So to summarize, all the available information is provided in the CHAMELEON website, which should be the main resource for more info. Both documentation and news updates will be always available in this website. Application forms are also managed in this website, as well as a frequently asked questions, which is constantly being updated with more questions and the respective answers to any doubts that may arise. The promotional video is available on YouTube. You should follow this link. And for any further questions, feel free to contact us via the provided contact points. So thank you very much for your time. And now I will open up for questions. Okay, if there aren't any questions, I shall proceed. I will stop sharing. And again, thank you very much for your time and this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Yes, so if you have any questions, feel free to add them to the chat or the question and answer anytime. And at the very end, if something has come up that is still unanswered, we can always revisit. So I will share my screen now to present ICAERUS. Can you see my screen? Great. All right, so I will start also by giving a brief overview of the ICAERUS project to give a little bit of context. And then we'll go through the project's 2 open calls with a focus on the push open call, which is currently open. And we'll get into some of the specific details of the process itself to apply. All right, so ICAERUS is a project, it's a 4-year project funded by Horizon Europe that started in July of 2022. We have 13 partners and include 3 research institutes, 6 industry stakeholders, and 4 nonprofit organizations. And so the challenges that we're tackling are really centered around kind of the potential for drones or why drones aren't being fully utilized. You know, they're currently used to varying degrees across member states, but there's a lot of challenges, including the costly investment, which includes the drones themselves, training, hiring operators, as well as knowledge gaps. So it's not only that there's many types of drones, there's all of the different components, algorithms, and then you need to interpret the data that they collect. There's also the environmental conditions that can limit the use, particularly in agriculture. And there's also safety regulations that must be followed, and the regulatory environment is not consistent across Europe. So where does ICAERUS come in? Well, the main objective of the project is to investigate drone-based opportunities in agriculture and in rural communities to get a more complete understanding of their potential and of their impact. So to do so, we're covering all aspects from research to demonstration, from training to scale up, and everything will culminate in the ICAERUS platform, which is a single access point for all of the project's results, which include an assessment of the drone market landscape, a drone data analytics library that will feature data sets and algorithms that are openly available, as well as socioeconomic and environmental impact assessments, business and governance models, and the ICAERUS Academy, which is an online course. So ICAERUS also features 5 use cases across Europe, covering crop monitoring, drone spraying, livestock monitoring, forestry and biodiversity management, and rural logistics. In addition, we have a set of open calls. So that's what we're really here to discuss. So ICAERUS, we have just over $1 million of our budget is dedicated to providing financial support to third parties, which will be distributed across 20 sub-projects within 2 distinct types of calls, each with 2 launches. So the ICAERUS Push Open Call for Innovation Development is the first one. The first one has already launched and closed, but we have currently opened the second open call in February, and it will close in May. So in this round, we will be funding 3 different sub-projects, up to 60,000 euros per project, and each project will last for 1 month, or sorry, 1 year. 1 year. And who are we looking for? So this particular open call is targeting drone manufacturers, AI and IoT companies, research institutes, startups, SMEs exploiting big data. So we're really looking for stakeholders that can develop and deliver drone-related data sets, concepts, ideas, prototypes that have the potential to be introduced to the market. So we're really focused on sort of innovation development. All of the information, the eligibility criteria, all of our documents are available on the ICAERUS website. We have a dedicated open call tab where you can find all of the necessary information. But we are specifically looking for single applicants, so no consortia. The timeline for the second push open call, as I mentioned, it closes May 7th. We have a few months for the eligibility check, the evaluation and contracting, and it is set to start implementation in September, and it will run until August 31st of 2025. There's 3 phases of implementation, which I will describe a little bit later. Just to give you an idea of the results from the first push open call, we had 55 unique applicants from 17 countries, and 14 different fields of expertise. So our winners we have quite a variety. We have a training program for drone piloting. We have another one combining computer vision technology drones for a plant recognition system. We have SHIELD here that's looking at a specific advanced drone system component to help enhance security, reliability, and precision. We also have a decision support system for analyzing vineyards through a digital twin. This is AgroTwin. And we have AIM, which is demonstrating the applicability of AI camera systems operated from fixed-wing drones for methane, gas leakage, and pipeline inspection. So we have quite a range. We have some indicative examples in the open call documents, but as long as you're addressing rural challenges and agriculture, we want to keep it quite open to your ideas. Very briefly, I'll give you an idea of the second open call, the pull open call, which is for forestry, farming, and rural challenges. Again, the first call has already closed, but we will be launching the second call in July. This one will be offering up to 50,000 per winner, and we'll be looking for 6 sub-projects to fund. Again, they'll last 1 year. And the biggest difference is that this open call is targeting end users. So we want agricultural production, we want environmental monitoring entities, and rural communities. So again, they're single applicants, but we want that can either utilize drones and their services to address individual commercial needs or community-related issues. So it could be anything from forestry, wildlife conservation, disaster risk reduction, things like that. So we're looking for a slightly different target group for this open call. But we have officially launched the implementation phase of the first pull open call on April 1st, and our 6 projects also have quite a variety. We had 38 applicants for this call, but we have again a good diversity of projects, and all of them can be found on the ICAERUS website. So if you are interested in applying, I'll give you a little bit of an overview of the application process. So everything related to the open calls for ICAERUS are run through the Open Call Hub. And this is a platform dedicated to the open calls and created and run by FoodScale Hub. So here we select external evaluators, we collect the applications submitted to the open calls. All of the reviewing happens on this platform, as well as the ranking list. So the purpose is that we communicate as transparently as possible with all applicants and reviewers, and everything is contained within the hub. So as we mentioned, once the call is open, we recommend checking all of the documents and the timeline. We ask you to register or create an account on the Open Call Hub, since that is where you'll need to upload all of your documents. Check the specific eligibility criteria and prepare the application, and make sure you submit on time. Any late submissions won't be accepted. And once the call is closed, a preliminary eligibility check will take place, and your application will either will be rejected or sent for evaluation. The evaluation process, it will be done by external evaluators. 2 evaluators will be assigned per proposal, and they have no connection at all to the ICAERUS consortium. They are external expert evaluators that have been selected through a separate call. So they're completely independent. The evaluation, the criteria is based on sort of 4 main criteria: the concept and the feasibility, the technology readiness and the innovation development, the impact and exploitation, so looking forward into the future, as well as the organizational capacity and the allocation of resources. So each criteria will have a score from 1 to 5 with a threshold of 3 points in each category. So if your project is selected and moving on to the implementation phase, we have three phases that are each tied to a deliverable, and that is how you receive your funding. So the first phase is the design phase, and it lasts 2 months. And by the end, we expect an activity plan. So once your activity plan has been approved, then we release 30% of the funding. The main phase, however, is the development. And so by the end, we expect a results demonstration of some sort, where we will then release 50% of the funding. The final phase is the market phase, and this will culminate in a report on market associated activities. So sort of looking into what is the potential of your solution in the future. So in the implementation, what does ICAERUS have to offer besides the funding? One of the main things is the access to value-added services, which are designed to provide knowledge and mentoring to all open call beneficiaries. And the services can include capacity building towards the development of simple economic tools, or how to efficiently and effectively execute business plans. So we'll be working closely with each of the open call winners to see how we can best support them. There's also the promotion of your sub-projects across the ICAERUS channels and connection with the ICAERUS network. It's a really passionate consortium who are really eager to cooperate and work together. Now, we do expect sub-projects to contribute to the drone data analytics library. That is one thing that we do expect. So again, how to prepare a successful proposal for the ICAERUS Push Open Call. The very first step, of course, is to read the call documents, structure your proposal, plan your key points, and generate the proposal itself. From there, the application structure is split into two parts. So we have the online component, which is your basic administrative information that needs to be provided while you're registering for the open call platform. It also includes the documents to be uploaded. Then we have the actual proposal text and budget, which can only be 10 pages total. So it sounds like there's a lot of information, or it sounds like it's quite complex, but it's really only 10 pages. So it needs to be nice and concise, and just to show that you have a well thought out idea. So the different components included an executive summary, some general information, a description of your proposal, as well as the impact, the business, the technological, and a few other impact aspects. It also includes your cost categories and justifications. So I'll go through each of those briefly to give you an idea of what we expect. So the executive summary is really just a short pitch of the proposal, giving specific focus on the main objectives of your application, how your solution is in line with the open call focus, and how it can help rural areas. The executive summary could be published on the website, so we strongly suggest avoiding any confidential information to be included in the executive summary. The general information section is it's mandatory. We really require it, but it's the basic information: your organization, your address, your VAT number, the proposal name and acronym, and the contact details. The proposal description itself has 5 main components. So we have a checkbox for the type of applicant. In this particular call, we're looking for, again, drone manufacturers, AI or IoT companies, research institutes, startup or an SME. We'd like a description of the proposal and some objectives. So what is the question that you're trying to solve? How does your solution address the open call topics? And what are some of your key objectives? Ideally, we're always looking for something concrete. So if you have any numbers, we always appreciate numbers. The work plan and the activities involves how the work will be carried out in each of the 3 phases, preferably with a timeline. The team includes the experience of your team, so their education, their skills, if they have a really specific job kind of description or role, and the expected results. So this is where we want to know, what do you expect the project to achieve? Ideally, we'd like some smart indicators to measure the progress as well. So as concrete as possible, what you expect to see by the end of the project's duration. For business impact, we are looking to we'd like to know what is the business challenge and the business potential that you're addressing. Is there a value proposition? Is there some scalability? How will the solution reach end users? How many will there be? Is it something really, really specific, or is there a broad potential? Do you have a business model in place? Any type of financial projections? The technology impact is also an important aspect. We would like you to explain the innovation behind your solution and how it's better than existing solutions. So we'd like to see how the TRL will change over the course of the project. And it's more than okay to deliver an improvement, so on an existing solution. However, we really want to know what the improvement is. So how is it different from the existing solution? If, of course, you have a visual representation, that's always great too. A few other aspects, we'd also like the sustainability impact. So if you're able to quantify any potential benefits for sustainability, that would be great. This could mean something like, for example, by using drones for spraying, the cost of fertilizer could be reduced by this percentage. Of course, we'd like these numbers to be justified, so backed up by something, but some research, but ideally we would like any type of projections you have with numbers. We'd also like to know if there's any impact on rural areas and how they'll address rural needs, if it aligns with regional, national, or EU policies. It can be included here as well. And the financial impact. We'd like to know if you've received any other funds, EU funds for other projects, if you have any private or public funds from other entities. This indicates that you have experience to accomplish the project, but we are more than open to first-time applicants. The only other aspect we have as well is the multi-actor involvement. So we'd like to know how you plan to engage end users in validating your solution. So do you have any kind of measures to involve them? This could be, are you going to have any on-site visits? It could be regular meetings. Will there be some sort of a virtual workspace? Anything like that, we'd like to know. Finally, there's the ethical issues. So it's super important that all sub-projects comply with all of the relevant safety protocols for using drones, as well as any local, regional, EU regulations, and same for GDPR. So if you're using any data collected. So we'd like to know if your solution raises any additional ethical issues and how you will comply with all of these important ethical aspects. Finally, the last component is the proposal budget. So as I mentioned, the release of funding is based on the receipt and the successful receipt of the deliverables. So basically, this is what it will look like. We have the activity plan, the development, and the market deliverables, and the cost just cannot exceed the 60,000. We also include a budget and cost justification table. So we'd like to know where you plan, where your budget will be going. So we have the personnel costs, any travel costs, equipment. And this is, we'd like to know, if you have travel, where are you going? Why are you going? Any equipment, what is it? Why is it necessary? The final sort of practical little details as well. Everything needs to be submitted in English. We have, standard, the font size, it's 11, we like Arial. We have the spacing requirements here as well. But the most important thing is the total length of the entire proposal must not be longer than 10 pages. Anything else will not be evaluated. So just a few examples of some of the questions that have been asked. Is co-funding by the applicant required, or is the budget fully covered? The whole requested budget within the limits set in the open call kit is fully covered by the ICAERUS open call. So there's no need for co-funding. It doesn't matter what type of entity you are, it's 100% funded. Another question is whether being a registered entity and having a VAT number mandatory, and yes it is. In the case of the pull open call, if we are also looking for the equivalent, but in this case, yes, for the push open call, we do require a VAT number. How many applications can an entity submit and how many will be selected for funding? All of this information is in our applicant guide, but only one proposal will be selected for funding. So you can submit more than one proposal, but the one with the highest score will be selected. I will open the floor for questions. I see. So yes, the presentation will be available. It will be uploaded onto the ICAERUS YouTube, and we will also share it with our with Chameleon and Spade so that they may also post it as well. So yes. Great. So if you don't have any other questions, I will stop sharing my screen and pass the floor to Maria Elena to talk about Spade.
Thank you, Mackenzie. Let me share my screen. Okay, can you see my slide? Okay, great. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Maria Elena, and I represent Exploro as the manager of the open call for the Spade Project. So, first I would like to introduce the Spade Consortium. We are 21 partners, and we are distributed between 9 European countries, and also we have one associated partner from the United Kingdom. Also, Spade is characterized by having a multidisciplinary consortium with partners from universities, research centers, SMEs, and cooperatives. What is the objective of our project? So, Spade aims to develop an intelligent ecosystem through the deployment of 9 aerial vehicles to promote sustainable and digital services in the crop production, forestry, and livestock sectors. This project has started on September 2022 and have a duration until August 31, 2026. The integrated concept of Spade will be tested and optimized in 3 pilots, one for each major application. For example, one an open field agriculture pilot in Spain, another one in a forest pilot in Norway, and another one in the livestock farming pilot in Greece. And the 3 pilots has been selected in a way to test the developed solutions in multiple applications use case scenarios. So this is a summary about the Spade project, and now I would like to talk about the open course. But first, it's important to know that Spade will distribute a total of 720,000 euros through 2 open calls. The first one is currently open until April 10th, next week is the deadline, and we expect to open a second open call by the end of this year, probably on November. In total, we expect to fund 12 projects through the 2 open calls, and every project can receive a maximum support to third party of 60,000 euros. So, focuses on a Spade first call. This call, as I have mentioned before, opened on February 9 and will close on April 10. We have time to apply, so please take a look to the guidelines for applicants on our website, because you are on time. So in this open call, a total of 6 projects will be funded, and every project can receive a maximum funding of 60,000 euros, as I mentioned before, and this project must have a duration of 6 months. So Spain aims with this open call to address a specific challenge in the domain of the open field case study in Spain, the forest case study in Norway, and the livestock case study in Greece. Through this call, we invite applicants to tackle tailored challenges for each case study, promoting the innovation in agricultural practice, forest management, and livestock breeding. As can you see in this in the screen, each case study has a specific challenge. For example, we have 2 challenges for the open field case study integration, one for the forest case study, and another one for the livestock case study integration. However, the applicant also has the option to apply to these two challenges calls universal consideration across case studies because these challenges apply for all the case studies. However, something important to highlight here is that you can apply only for one challenge. In the case that you are thinking applying in 2, 3, or more, you will receive the fund only for one challenge. So this is really important. For this call, who can apply? So we are accepting SMEs, research organizations, universities, NGOs, and foundations. Other entities and consortia are not allowed for this open call. Also, only applicants legally established in any of the following countries are eligible for funding. And the countries, it's important that this country belong to the member states of the European Union, including the outermost regions, and also can be legally established in Eurasian Europe associated countries according to the data list published by the European Commission. Apply for this open call. So first, we recommend to consult all the open call documentation available on the SPADE website. There you can find the guideline for applicants and several annexes, like for example, the technical annex that is really important to know more, to obtain more details for every challenge. We also have an email available to address any question, as can you see in the screen. Also, you can check the recording of the technical webinars that we have organized, and these webinars are available on the project's YouTube channel. And finally, to apply, you must do it through the Explorer platform, because applications submitted through any other means will not be accepted. Once the call closes, the evaluation process will begin. And now I want to show you how the process evaluation works. First, we will have this step, the eligibility check. And here in this eligibility check, you can find a series of criteria. And it's important that the applicants meet all these criteria to be eligible. One of the criteria, for example, can be the existence of the legal entity, the alignment with the SPADE call for proposals and challenges, and you can consult all these criteria in the guideline for applicants. If the applicant doesn't meet one of the criteria, as can you see here, this example, even if they meet all the other ones, the proposal won't be eligible. So this is really important. So that is why we recommend to consult all these criteria in the guidelines for applicants. The next step will be the external remote evaluation. In this case, all the proposals that pass the eligibility check will be eligible for the external remote evaluation, and here every proposal will be assigned to evaluators. However, the same proposal can receive significantly different scores between the evaluators. And for that reason, we established this step called normalization, and the objective of this step is to normalize all the scores to avoid positive negative bias. And finally, the best proposal for each challenge will proceed to sign the contract with the SPADE consortium. So once the project execution begins, I would like to explain you how works the financial support. As I mentioned before, this project must have a duration of 6 months. So in month 1, every project must have a meeting with the use case leader to establish the KPIs and deliverables for all the project duration. It's important to highlight that every challenge has some deliverables that are mandatory, and you can consult these deliverables on the guideline for applicants. So the first month have started, you are developing your project, and in month 3, we will have an interim report. And the idea is to check that you have been complete a series of KPIs and deliverables. And in the case that you meet all the KPIs and deliverables, you can receive in the following months the first part of the budget that will be 30K. Then the project execution will be continued until month 6. And in this month, we will have a final report where the project must have completed all the activities, all the KPIs, all the deliverables, And if they fulfill all the requirements, they can receive the final payment of 30,000 euros. Now, I want to show you the steps to follow to apply for this open call. I have a video here. First, you need to access through the SPADE website, clicking by the open call button in applicant. And finally, you need to find in this section the button called apply now, which will take you directly to the Explorer platform. Here, you need to create your profile and validate your account. This is really important. Then you will be directed to the application form, where you will see all the fields that need to be completed to apply. Pay attention because many of these part of the form have character limitations. So some questions are multiple choice, so this is really important to pay attention to all the form. Also note that you are asked to upload some documents, and these documents are mandatory to upload on PDF. And remember to save all your changes. This is really important. But if you notice that the submission application button, this one, is not available, this means that you have not completed some of the mandatory fields. If you check this icon, this icon here, you can see, you can check what fields are incompleted in your application form. Once the entire form is completed, the submit application button will become available, as can you see here. Okay, this is all from my side. Now, if you have any question, I will be more than happy to answer them.
We do have one question from the in the question and answer, and I think it's something we can all probably address.
Yes.
Whether there will be new open calls in the future. So
Yes.
from the ICAERUS end, yes, we will also be launching in June, I believe, the second pull open call. That's all that we will have. We had 4 total. The push is open now. The pull will have one more pull will happen in the summer. Go ahead.
Yes, it's the same for Spain. In our case, we will have another open call, probably in November of this year, but we don't have the exact day right now. But the idea is to apply for our first open call that is already open until next week. So please take a look to our website to see the guideline for applicants.
Also, just to add from the Chameleon side, this is the second and last open call. So the first is already ongoing, and this is the second one, and there will be no further open call. So please contact us if you have any further questions.
All right. Well, if we don't have any further questions, please feel free to contact any of us. Visit all of our websites, the social media. There's all of the information that you need is there. If you have any other questions that come up during the application process. But thank you all for attending. Thank you, Marilena and Miguel. And good luck with your applications.
Thank you, Mackenzie, and thanks for this opportunity to share our projects with all the community.
Yes, thank you as well for the opportunity again, and we will reach out in the future. Let's see. Good luck for everyone.